Richard Madeley reflects on heartbreaking loss and health change after brutal family tragedy. Richard Madeley, the veteran Good Morning Britain presenter, recently opened up about a profound personal tragedy that led to a major health change in his life. The 68-year-old broadcaster, known for his candidness, shared an emotional account of the heart-wrenching moment that shifted his perspective on life and health forever. Speaking with his ITV colleague, Dr. Hilary Jones, Richard addressed his health journey, the loss of his father, and how it was a pivotal turning point that inspired him to make a life-altering decision. Richard's life was forever changed when he experienced the devastating loss of his father at a young age. His father, who passed away at just 49, had a history of heart problems, heart attacks that plagued not only him but also his father and uncle. The Good Morning Britain presenter was candid as he spoke about the tragic similarities between the men in his family, all of whom died prematurely due to heart disease, with smoking playing a significant role. "My grandfather, father, and uncle all had heart attacks, but the one that killed my father was particularly brutal," Richard explained. He was a heavy smoker, and at one point, he was smoking 2 packs a day. He was a press officer at the Ford Motor Company in Essex, and he lived very close to the office, so he often came home for lunch. Richard went on to describe the shocking events of that day, when his father, who seemed perfectly healthy just 2 days earlier, collapsed unexpectedly. "He came home one day after work, saying he felt strange. A couple of minutes later, he collapsed into my mum's arms, and within moments, he was gone." It was that brutal. What made this loss even more heartbreaking was the timing. It occurred while Richard was abroad with his first wife, Linda Hooley, on their honeymoon. He had seen his father just days before, and the news of his sudden passing left Richard reeling, forever altering the course of his life. "I had only seen him 2 days before, and he seemed perfectly fit and well," Richard recalled with a somber tone. "Then, just like that, he was gone." It was a shocking, devastating loss. This personal tragedy would later become a major motivator for Richard to make a huge lifestyle change. Speaking on the Dr. Hilary Show, he revealed that it wasn't until he turned 40 that he made the decision to quit smoking, a decision that was influenced in no small part by his father's death and his family's history with smoking-related heart disease. "Although I smoked throughout my 20s and 30s, I decided to give up when I turned 40, Richard shared. "It wasn't an easy decision, and I went through a few false starts, but it became a serious effort to quit once I hit that milestone." The turning point came after Richard and his wife, Judy Finnegan, interviewed John Diamond, the late husband of renowned chef Nigella Lawson. John Diamond, a journalist and broadcaster, had been battling oral cancer, and his tragic death left a lasting impact on Richard. "I'll never forget the day we interviewed John Diamond. He was incredibly brave, but he was also very real about his battle with cancer. After we wrapped up the interview, I walked back to my dressing room and flushed the rest of my cigarette pack down the toilet," Richard said, reflecting on that pivotal moment. "That was the moment I truly decided I had to quit smoking for good." Richard's decision to quit smoking marked a significant shift in his life, one that he feels helped him avoid the fate that befell the men in his family. While he admits that it wasn't easy, he's proud of the change he made, which he credits for improving his health and ultimately his quality of life. The Dr. Hilary Show continues to be an important platform for Richard to share such personal stories and health insights, and it's available on YouTube and podcast platforms for anyone who wants to hear more about his journey. As for Richard, the legacy of his father's untimely passing is still with him, but he continues to use that painful experience as a reminder to live a healthier, more conscious life, one free of the habits that once held him back.